Balls, tits, balls, tits, balls, tits.
All right. Cool.
I just literally yelling balls, tits as the DoorDasher walked right by my window and probably heard that.
What'd you order?
I ordered something for my parents.
What are your
I
folks
gotta get out
eating?
of this house.
That's not
They're
the answer that he was asking for.
They're eating some old-fashioned, traditional Uncle Bernie's Jewish deli. Turkey pastrami on rye with chicken matzo ball noodle soup.
Oh, it's very Jewy food, right?
Very, but
Hey.
so good. Yeah.
I've had the matzahs. The matzo balls are awesome just because I like balls in general. Any kind of balls flying my way, I'm in. The Janksters would like to know, Muggs, how are Papa and Mama Muggs doing?
The question really is, Omar, the Janksters should be asking is how I'm doing. 'Cause they are fantastic.
Really?
They are I mean, Mama Muggs is every day her oxygen level machine is getting lower, which is a good thing. You know,
Yeah.
she's not needing as much oxygen. She's leaving her. She transferred from a portable hospital bed to a lazy boy. Now she gets to sleep in her own bed for the first time tonight. Papa Muggs, he's probably second best. I mean, he is 83 and he's got really bad knees. I don't think he's even. I don't think he even has knees anymore. But me, I feel like I'm dying. I don't know what's going on.
So you have what is it called? It's called long haulers.
It's long hauler. I'm a COVID long hauler, man.
So
and
tell me,
it's real deal.
Tell me what that is, because I heard Dr. Drew
You
online,
fucking long hauler.
and I think he has the same thing. So kind of break it down what it is, because I don't pay attention to Dr. Drew now that he's a nut job.
Well, first of all, shout out to Dr. Drew, number one. Number two, I had it before him, so I'm cooler than he is. And he hasn't experienced quite as long of a haul as I have. It's been insane. Like, some days you feel, hey, I'm over it. Some days you feel, wow, am I coming down with it again? What's going on? I get these weird, like, tinges in my chest now, like more so than ever. So much so that I scheduled a phone appointment with my doctor tomorrow because you can't get into a hospital because their staff is overwhelmed. And you know, I got this new, speaking of bad knees, like Papa Muggs, this new thing in my right knee, like that feels like some days I'm okay. Some days it feels like I have no elasticity in it. I mean, technically probably age, but it really came out of nowhere. It started after I was over COVID, quote unquote, over. But it's fucking weird, and the fatigue is real. The brain fog. I mean, I wasn't on the bonus episode 22, which we had talked about probably 5 times leading up to it. And
I mean, it was literally a couple of hours before. Like, when I say couple, I mean like 12 hours before.
Okay, 12 hours.
Yeah.
And we were 4 or 5 times, so it was very close to when we were supposed to do it. Well, I got out of Stryker and Klein on Friday. I had to go do some errands for my folks, going to Costco, going to the pharmacy. And I got home, and it was like we were supposed to record, at 3:30 or something?
2.
2. Anyway, I got home at like 2:45, 3. Didn't think of anything like, I had to do something. It didn't hit me until I was laying in bed at like 7 p.m. And that's when I WhatsApped you guys. I was like, guys, no joke. I literally totally just remembered we had to record that podcast today. I was so bummed that I did a little Instagram story that I saw you repost. Omar, so thank you.
It's one of those things where I know everybody has things going on, and I dedicate some time to the podcast. And if it slips your mind because you don't love us enough, or you don't love the Janky Town listeners enough, then I understand that you have more important things to do, and this podcast is definitely not top priority for you. It's all good, Muggs.
No, hold on. I've made a lot of excuses in my life. Okay.
No.
None of them more valid than COVID Fog Long Haulers Association of America. Anyway, back to what we were saying. I'm in my COVID fog. What were we saying?
Hey, I want to bring up something.
Seriously, what were we saying? No, help me, please help me.
It's fine. Hey, the Super Bowl's coming up, and I had a question for you guys, because when they announced that the halftime entertainment was going to be The Weeknd, I was a little bit perplexed, and I was on Stryker and Klein when they announced it, and they kind of defended The Weeknd, and I started thinking about it, and I'm still a little bit perplexed, because is he the level of artist that you want to see at the Super Bowl, or is this kind of like what I'm thinking is that this Super Bowl really is just a bit of a throwaway because of the whole COVID and stuff? Is he that level of artist you want to see at Super Bowl, or am I just crazy and am I missing the boat on this? And don't get me wrong, I like his music. I just don't think he's halftime Super Bowl material.
I get what you're saying, but when you look at the credentials, like, he is the biggest thing right now. Okay. Right, so you're either going to go legacy act.
That's what. That's what I thought.
Are you going to get, or what's hot right now for the Super Bowl? And he seems to be who's hot right now.
It's so funny because I think the only thing that The Weeknd is hot for is like this song. This song is everywhere, but that's about it. And it's a jam.
I mean, dude,
there's
that
also
song,
I can't feel my face. There's also,
but that's not hot right now.
Yeah, "Blinding Lights" is the biggest song of 2020. That was the song we just heard. It was number one on the Billboard for like 15, 16 weeks or something like that. It's something insane. But I mean, if you look at his catalog, you're just like Mug said, "Can't Feel My Face." That's huge. So when you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I like this song." And think about the normal person who's watching the Super Bowl who doesn't normally watch.
Yeah, they're gonna hate. They're gonna hate The Weeknd, and they're gonna hate his weird ass new face.
Is that real, by the way?
As far as I know, I don't know.
It's a stunt, right? It's an act.
Yes, Muggs. It's part of the whole album thingy. But there's also the thing about the Super Bowl, and which surprises me that they haven't announced it yet, is they always bring someone else out. Like, it's always a special guest.
We hope, because the year that they gave it to Coldplay. Listen, I love Coldplay, but I also felt like, oh man, I don't know if Coldplay is a super energetic band to do the Super Bowl, and I think they ended up bringing in was it Beyonce to do a song with them? And
I was there.
You were there. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that was fun. I like Coldplay. I thought the songs they chose were great. And remember, this is only a half hour, so they pick like five or six songs, and then they bring someone else out, and then
But I just think of I don't know. I don't watch the Super Bowl that often, but you hear just these stories about, I guess Prince did one, right? And he was phenomenal.
That was amazing.
Did Paul McCartney do one?
I don't. If he did, I probably slept through it. So.
Okay. And
did Janet Jackson do one?
No, I don't think so. No, she didn't do one. But it was like I don't know. It just struck me as odd. But I don't know. On top of it, dude, he is a boring ass performer. Holy crap.
Okay, he used to be. I thought he used to be, but he's performed a lot in these award shows, like MTV Movie.
Has he stepped up his
awards,
game?
VMAs. He has. He has okay. a lot. Like he just did one for I don't know which stupid award show it was, but he was performing on the 6th Street Bridge and shit was blowing up around him. So he knows how to put on a show now.
Okay,
remember at Coachella?
Oh my God,
how boring he was.
Snooze
you're
fest.
Just all right, I'm going over here. I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah,
so.
I just know. I hope he doesn't play like a song like this. Party time at the Super Bowl song right there?
This is party time in the pants for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't see that popping off at the Super Bowl, I just don't see that popping off at the Super Bowl.
It is when there's drones and flying up above them and explosions and all gunfire and everything that's going to be crazy.
Dancing
that's
Pepsi
happening.
cans.
Exactly. So
is that what we're gonna have? We're gonna have dancing Pepsi cans, like Dave was describing. Explosions and drones, and you come up with dancing Pepsi cans. Nice one, Muggs.
Just like save your tears for another day.
Okay.
What if Kendall Jenner comes out and gives you a Pepsi?
Yeah. Now if they don't have dancing Pepsi cans at the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be very disappointed, man. That's all I'm looking forward to now at the Super Bowl.
It's Pepsi and the NFL, right? They're in cahoots,
exactly.
right?
Okay, well, I will watch. Are you guys? I would imagine you guys are not having any kind of Super Bowl party or anything like that, right?
Dude, the lockdown's over. I'm having a rager.
Woo! Dave, that doesn't mean anything really. They just want some restaurants and some businesses to stay in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Super Bowl party is going to have rapid testing at the door.
But through the anus, right?
Yeah, Chinese test.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, dude. I think that's the greatest thing ever, by the way.
Yeah, but funny thing though is like I never had people. I hate having people over for the Super Bowl. I know it's a big party day, but I like watching the game. And before, when I had a job, I used to have to watch it for like the commercials to see if anything happens, anything exciting. But now it's like I still don't want to. I just want to watch the game. I don't care about any of it else. I don't want to party. I don't do anything.
So funny because I would watch the commercials and I didn't care about the game, and all I would want to do is party. And I remember hating to go into Kevin and Bean the following Sunday. And there was one time I was like super hungover. I just ended up like crashing out in the studio. I like drove to work and just like crashed out.
Oh shit! Look who just joined us. Look at that guy. He just jumped right on our Zoom. I love it. Michael Catherwood.
Hi.
It's Michael Catherwood.
It's so great to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's always great to see you guys.
Oh my God, dude. I miss you so much, man. Have you been doing since the last time we talked to you?
Really good, actually. You know, Kevin and I fired up the great news, and it's been amazing. It's been really fun.
Could you tell me a little bit about, you haven't worked with KevDog for a bit now, but now you're back in the game with Kevin, and is Kevin still Kevin, I guess? Because when I spoke to him about him doing great news, he was like, Mr. I'm going to be professional and I'm going to prep this and do this. And I'm in my head, I was just like, oh, that sounds really good, Kevin. Is he still the KevDog we know and love?
Yeah. I mean, I will be honest. Like he is really professional, and he does take it really seriously in the sense that like he prepares really well, and he's really involved in like the production aspect of it, and has very clear-cut ideas about what he wants and what he doesn't want and stuff. But he's also still fully KevDog. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard, I sent Dave a link to a full-on moment with Kevin.
Oh, really?
It happened on episode 9, right, Mike? Or 9.
Yeah, it was as we record this, it was the one that went up today.
Yeah,
awesome.
And so, if we could find it and put it in later, but it's Kevin. It's a simple, straight moment with Kevin.
Oh, really?
All he's trying to do is say the word subscribe.
Oh, no.
And the camera just happened to be like focused on my face as he's trying to say it, because it was right at the end of the episode, and I was trying to grab my guitar to do the outro.
Yeah.
And so the camera's like focused on me, and Kevin just his brain just stops. And it's awesome.
Was the look on your face like traditionally like, oh my God?
Yeah,
it's
like
happening.
It was obviously I'm laughing, but it was like one of those things where you're it's something so funny that you actually like you break a little bit. I didn't just start laughing. I turned my head like, oh, this is so good. I'm so happy this is happening.
Oh man.
Now, Mike, how has it been doing these great news stories? Like, are you dead inside now from it? Because it's just like you're so used to all these good stories.
No, I mean, quite the opposite. Like, I used to, all kidding aside, not to get too like precious about it, but I used to get like pretty close to dead inside after Loveline, because I'd have to go in for a couple hours every night and hear abuse followed by addiction followed by RAPE. My daughter's right next to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I honestly, I would drive home and I'd be like so bummed. Yeah, there's Magnolia's hands.
Yeah.
Hi, Magnolia.
So, I would be really bummed. And the alternative is like, after doing great news, I really feel good about life, not only doing it, but like preparing the stories, like curating all the stories. My daughter and wife will come home and I'll just be like sobbing like a baby, big snot boogers coming out of my nose and stuff.
With on top of great news, Mike, how many other projects you got going? Because you're a busy man. When do you get mic time?
I mean, I get like the whole like I just don't have time for it is a fallacy. like, I just don't like, because I've worked with Dr. Drew for a decade, and like no one's ever been busier. He figures out a way to hang out with his kids and lift weights and do all the, and it's like a matter of priority, and learning how to schedule stuff has been better. And I've always found it like the busier I am, the easier it is for me to kind of manage things. And I bet you it's like addict stuff, because idle hands for me is like the worst. If I have days off in like a long period of time, or if I'm on vacation, I start to get really like lazy, and it's like the energy begets more energy, as opposed to, the alternative.
Yeah. So along with great news with Kevin and Mike, you have Mikey Likes You, the podcast.
Yeah.
And you're also doing a Patreon now, right? For
I
personal
am.
training.
I never like really wanted to do it. I never like, I don't know. Now that I have like exposure to Patreon and I realize kind of what it's about, I changed my feelings completely. But at first I just thought it was like begging for cash. I felt, I just essentially felt bad doing it, like, if my podcast has sponsors, why would I want your money? But then, and Dave, I talked to our mutual friend Ryan Jaso, and
yeah,
he's been pushing me to do a Patreon for so long. He said, if people make the conscious decision to listen to that podcast, that means they are interested in what you have to say. If you can offer them more of that, even more, in greater detail, in greater levels of volume, they will want to pay for that. And just don't make it about like, just give me $5 because, make it so that there's something there.
What made you decide to actually do the Patreon thing and do the personal training thing again? Because I remember talking to you, this was like 15 years ago, and I understand people change, but you hated it. You hated training people because they were just like, housewives that had way too much money that didn't really want to put any work into training.
Yeah, no, I did. And a part of that was my fault. And a part of that was the kind of the nature. It was just circumstance of that job, of like being an actual personal trainer at a gym. The part that was my fault was that like I had this very monolithic idea of like what is right and what is wrong. And that's just not the case. There's no such thing as like never or always when it comes to really anything like in the human experience. And I was just like right out of the gate, okay, you're 360 pounds and you haven't touched a vegetable in 4 years. Here's a very strict diet plan, and I want you to do 10 sets of squats right now. And if you don't, you're selling yourself short and you're a loser.
And how did I end up doing, Mike?
But alternatively, the aspect of it from that was kind of like the circumstance that wasn't necessarily my fault, was that, yeah, a lot of people get a personal trainer at a gym and have no real desire to do any work. They just want to either pay the money thinking, to give themselves that little mental boost to say they're doing something, or much like my friend who's a hairdresser, they want a buddy, and I really would get so angry when people would they'd be like, well, I can't seem to lose weight. I was like, all right, well, here's the deal. I know it sucks. You gotta monitor all your intake. You gotta actually write down, and this is before apps, so I was like, you gotta get a little notebook, get one of these. I would imagine she's coming home in the next 5 minutes. You got to get a notebook. You got to get one of these little books, calorie counter books, and you got to, for like at least a couple of weeks, get a sense of how much you're taking in. And they go, no, I can't do that. I can't do it. I was like, okay, well then, what are we doing here? Like, where are we going to go from here?
Right.
And one time
now,
I've changed, man.
If I know you're putting your money on the line, I can see the little receipt. It's like, I send a little questionnaire, we work it out, and then there's that interchange of like, are you really prepared to do this or not? Because I don't want to take your money if you're not. And secondly, let's start here. we'll get to there. We'll get to point Z sometime down the road. But right now we're at point A. So just can you work on this?
Speaking of, getting from point A to, where you want to become physically, you just recently posted that you're going to be 42 this year in August, and you wanted to become the best shape in your life. What are you doing to accomplish that? Because how do you get in better shape? How do you possibly get in better shape?
Well, drugs. That would be one route, but also, I mean, you could always ratchet it down, unless you're one of these people who makes a living with your body. There's always room to like improve. You could always be leaner or be bigger, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I'll be quite honest.
Red, white, and huge fit, or like what kind of fit? Do you want to be red, white, and huge fit? Remember when you were doing that contest? 50 years ago?
I couldn't be. Frankly, Kevin showed a video of that to bust my chops during the last great news, and I was like looking at myself, and I was actually saying like I'm sure I know that there was a lot of work that went into that, but I would never want to be like that again.
Yeah, because that's like you're dehydrated in 0% body fat and bronzer, right? Like,
yeah, a lot of it was, look, there was 3 factors there. There was a absolute utter commitment that is not congruent to like living a normal life. There was a lot of fake tan, and there was a lot. Actually, I didn't use a lot of fake tan because I'm already pretty tan, so I just like go in the sun. But there's a lot of that, and then there was a lot of like manipulation, dehydration, and bullshit that doesn't really apply to like getting in better shape. But the reality is like I was 5'10" then, as I am now, and I was like 205 pounds, and I'm like 175 now, and I feel like I'm okay at 175. Like I'm pretty fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to be that big, and it's not really helpful in like everyday life. You may look, your delts are bigger and all that, but like try to choke someone or try to go 3 rounds in like boxing, and you will be dead. Going upstairs used to tire me out. And also it's like, I'll be very honest, like at 42 and at the shape I'm in now, trying to make any level of improvement is way hard. When you're out of shape or overweight, it's progress can come a little easier. So I just wanted to essentially have that accountability where I put it out there. So now I kind of have to, like, when I have someone that's going to monitor it,
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. Have you come across, I know you went back to the gym recently, Gold's had something set up outside, but have you come across anybody in the fit community that you're in that has gotten COVID and seen changes like coming out of it, like their muscles are all fucked up or their joints are all messed up?
Not really. I have plenty of people around me that have gotten COVID, but like I said, I'm not trying to make any political statements, so don't fucking email me and be like, well, you don't understand how serious it is. But most of the people that I associate with, and then subsequently most of the people that I know that have gotten COVID are 25 to 45, and they're all in peak physical condition, and they're like, yeah, had a little bit of a runny nose and shit, but
not your man down here, buddy.
I'm middle physical shape. I am not at all peak.
Muggs is falling apart, dude.
I am.
He had COVID. Like how long ago, Muggs?
It was 2 months ago, like 2 months and like 5 days ago, and I'm still feeling like.
Yeah, I think he's just milking it. He just wants to, Muggs. No,
I swear to God, Mike, I have the brain fog. I have. I have a new fucking knee problem that I never had before.
He won't shut up. He won't shut up about it. He constantly talks about it.
And it feels like I have lung cancer. So there's that.
Have you, I know it's been early in the Patreon process, and you're still getting to know your Patreons and kind of, help them get to where they want to be. But have you seen any kind of like early rewards personally already because of what you're doing, not financially, but you do you know what I mean, like rewarding, making one-on-one? Like, can you talk a little bit about that, because I totally find that very interesting.
I saw it early on just in doing Mikey Likes You, like where people would message me and they would say things like, and I'm sure a lot of it is just in the moment, their emotions, and it's probably not completely true, but just even that idea alone would change like my whole outlook on things. When a guy would message me and be like, "You're the reason I got clean," or, "You really helped me to turn my life around. I've lost 40 pounds." And I would be really blown away, not to sound like too overly sweet about it, but it would really be touching and stuff. And then now to have like at the top tier where people are paying a good amount of money to like literally work with me and have interaction with me on a complete level, some of these people are like, I can't thank you enough for doing this. It's really giving me what I needed to make that change and stuff like that. And that's really, I know it's meathead kind of cheeseball stuff, but it also is like really inspirational to me and stuff.
So what are some of the perks that you have? Because, I want to probably sign up for the perk that you're shirtless and I get to oil you up and, play with your pecs, stuff like that. So
that's
what tier is that?
That's at OnlyFans. You can't actually access that through Patreon. But the lowest tier is like, it's $5 and it's, you get access to all my posts and all my articles that I link to, and then exercise examples and demos and stuff like that. And then honestly, the biggest thing is the bonus pod. So like I say, like, if you listen to Mikey Likes You, and it wasn't geeky enough, you're for $5 a month, you get the bonus pod, which is like, I take whatever I talk about and I go into way more detail. Like, I admit it's like, this is the unentertaining stuff. This is if you're really genuinely curious. So you get the bonus pod, which I think can be helpful. And then you get access to like whatever I write and blog about. The middle tier, the $20 tier, you get access to all that stuff. Plus you get downloadable training and nutrition protocol, so programs and diets and stuff like that. And then the top tier is where you get essentially like, I'm your guy. I'll write out, have people fill out like a pretty extensive questionnaire, and then I can design diets and programs and stuff like that, and then check in with them and they check in with me and stuff like that.
So Mr. Catherwood, I know you're kind of like, finding your footing when you're doing great news. And what do you guys, I'm sure like it's going to be a ongoing thing where you guys, try different things, or what's on the horizon or what's next, because I know Kevin was, kind of like thinking out loud when we had a conversation. Is anything set in stone that you guys are going to kind of, develop? You guys are 8 or 9 episodes in now?
Yeah, we recorded probably 12, and then today was 9.
Okay. Anything like different?
I think, the biggest addition is like, we're going to take what we're doing now and then just refine it and improve it as far as like technical stuff, figuring out the visual, because that honestly, that's the biggest thing that Kevin and I both have a lot to learn about, is that, we've never really done a visual show. Right. I've done TV, but that everyone does everything for you in TV. You just show up and talk. To understand like lighting, angles, different YouTube production stuff, like how to get the clips to be full screen and then have us P&P as opposed to just playing the clips blind. It's little things like that. We hope to always refine it, and a lot of it we have. But the big, I guess, addition is going to be that we're going to start introducing guests starting next week.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Anybody you could tease, or you want it to be a surprise?
There's 2 people coming on next week. One of them I can definitely tease. The other one I don't want to tease, just because I'll say this. It's a he. He's from the Kevin and Bean universe, and he's an
Armenian comedian.
He's a massive A-list star. So you do what you do. So it's either
not
Sam, Doto, Dean Sheffrin, the Gridiron Goddess.
Gridiron Goddess? Oh my God.
I can't believe I pulled that out.
Who's the Gridiron Goddess?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I haven't heard that. Omar doesn't even remember.
Hey,
oh my God.
When I'm watching a couple of those episodes,
I'm sorry to interrupt, Omar.
Yeah, no worries.
The one I can promote is Bob Saget will be joining us.
Oh, great. Awesome. I love Bob. Try to wrangle him in as best as you can.
But you only have 30 minutes, dude. How are you going to talk to him?
And here's the thing. People like Bob are perfect because he's nuts and you can't wrangle, but he's a genuinely nice person. And then each of our guests is going to also provide a positive news story.
Yeah, Bob does a lot of charity work, right?
He does. He does
a lot of charity work. Yeah, for sure. I watched, maybe like four or six episodes, and from time to time, I get the feeling like Kevin has no time for your shenanigans. I love your shenanigans on there, but sometimes I feel like Kevin just has no time for your shenanigans. Yeah. Is there what he just wants to move on? It's like he doesn't want to let the comedy breathe a little.
And I think that as we go, he doesn't necessarily understand that only motivates me more. Oh. Like he was like, "Oh, that's hysterical. Yes, no, tell me more, Rudy, or tell me more, Manny." I'd be like, "All right, well, let's go to the next story." The fact that he's like, thanks for stopping by." I'm like, "No,
exactly, dude." Like, did you guys see the one where Mike did the reggae intro? He ends the reggae intro with "Kill Whitey."
No response from Kevin. Just okay.
Moves on. He just moves on. I'm like, he just says "Kill Whitey." Like, who just moves on from that? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I think another thing though is that we know Kevin, like, he's legitimately like a very, in this day and age where people pretend to be woke, like Kevin's a very open-minded, thoughtful person about like all walks of life.
Oh, for sure.
That kind of stuff. Like, I don't think he even likes to joke about like Kill Whitey. Whereas I go like, clearly, clearly I'm joking. But I have to tell you, only you guys can understand, and I'm sure the Janky audience would appreciate this. But I always forget that people aren't like us. Like the world isn't morning radio guys and comics, or like fighters. Like my whole world is people who have a distorted view on the world.
Right. Really abrasive and vulgar, and that's okay. Sometimes, yeah, totally.
I hosted a office party. They did a virtual office party. It was really kind of sweet. Because they couldn't be together because of the lockdown, they had an office party online, and they asked me to come in and host it. And they had other like actual celebrities come in and like talk and like celebrate. But then I was like the MC, and it was a costume party, and one guy came as Freddie Mercury, and he's on the screen like with 80 other people. Like there's these little squares, and everyone's going down talking about their costume, and he's like, "I'm Freddie Mercury. I was really committed to this. I got this off of eBay, and it's actually was a part of a Queen musical, and then this little pin was one he wore at a concert." And he finishes, and I go, "Well, if you were really committed, you'd get AIDS." And I'm expecting the reaction I get from you, and it was just like stone faces. Like,
oh no. Man, what kind of company was it?
You got it was like a marketing PR.
Oh, that's funny. Mike, that actually leads me to the question I didn't have when Omar went to me. We want to start a segment that like where we watch a video that like gets our true first reactions.
Yes.
What better way, if you could find some time on your really busy schedule, to send one of those videos you're known for sending to us once a week, and we can
send them to Beer Mug though. Do not send them my way.
Mugs, be careful what you ask for, because when I asked Mike to join us today, he just responded with a video, and I literally gagged. And it takes a lot for me to gag. And what?
Oh no! I think
I had the sound up. I had the sound up, and it was terrible. So be careful what you wish for, man.
My kid's on my phone, so I don't need any of that.
How about we just try it out?
Okay.
I'll send you a video, Muggs,
a week trial.
We'll see how this goes. Okay.
Okay. All right. Is this the first? Did you already send one? Should I expect one?
Okay. Yeah.
He's doing it right now.
Grab your phone.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. This will be the first one. This will be the.
I'll...
Oh no.
Kevin, you see
it came in. Oh no, it came in. Okay. Let me open it here.
You gotta describe it, Muggs.
One movie. Hold on. Do you want to? Okay, since we are on YouTube now, wait for my facial reaction, and then I'll try to explain it in detail. Okay. Oh, the volume's on. Oh no. Oh.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one I got.
Can I cancel my subscription, please?
All right. Since that one's a video might be too much. Let me just give you one image.
Okay.
So that you can. Okay.
Is the image going to top the video? Because I don't see that happening. Oh no. Oh no.
I finally got my ultimate dream of getting someone to actually have to buy a new phone.
Oh my God! Is it because they couldn't erase? What do you mean they couldn't erase the images, or what happened?
He or she is a celebrity, like a real celebrity.
Yeah.
And I could tell you off air because I'm pretty sure he or she would not like this conversation, like to be known. And he or she was like concerned about that being on their phone, and he or she would delete them and realize that, like, yeah, well, they're still in the cloud
or something. Like there's a backup of them. Oh no!
So he or she took it to a phone guy, and the guy goes, "If you honestly, if you're really concerned about any type of future problems, you're just gonna have to break your SIM card and buy a new phone."
Wow!
Are you serious? And that happened.
Crazy. Wow, that's amazing.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh God.
Open up the second.
Oh Jesus! It just came in. Oh my God. I really want to cancel my subscription.
That's a double whammy. That's a double whammy, Mugs. Do you understand?
Is that what they call that?
That's what they call in the business a double double.
Mugs, describe the first video and now describe the image, please.
Okay.
After.
All right. The first video that I received from Mike was, just think of chocolate soft serve.
Okay. Yeah, like the 2 girls 1 cup video.
Yeah,
pretty much. This is like the 2 girls 1 cup, like Tarantino version.
Oh, really?
Extended version, yeah.
And then the second one is something that is like so disgusting. I can't really even go into detail.
Okay.
It's
why not?
2 of.
Yeah, why can't you? There's nothing stopping you from doing it.
I mean, do I give you the cut and dry, or do I tiptoe and tap dance
just
around?
Get it out.
Oh, just get it out. What the fuck are you talking? We're not on the fucking radio, Mugs. Just fucking spit it out, dude.
It's dueling prolapses.
Oh,
good times. Good times.
Look at
all right.
Look at the calm, just joy that Mike is.
I'll put it up to the camera, Mugs. Put up to the camera.
Really?
Yeah, I'll blur it out. I just want to see it. I'll blur it out.
Okay. Which one do you want to see? Both of them?
No, just a picture. Just a picture.
Whatever. It's a short video though. Yeah, I want to see both. Do the video first.
Okay. The video's small.
Okay.
I don't know if you could.
A little higher. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I really can't see it. That's okay. Oh, there's the prolapse. That's good. I love it.
Oh my God.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you. You've always been notorious for seeking these things out, and I can't imagine people send you this stuff, so you must be seeking them out, right? Where do you find all this stuff?
The dark web.
Do you really? Do you have like a separate computer?
Oh my God.
Or do you have to buy a phone every week?
No, I have.
You have to buy a phone, or do you have one of those like side phones, like just for that sort of stuff?
I started a album on my phone that's just labeled Schwartzen, because it all started like 10 years ago on Loveline, trying to make Nick Schwartzen barf. And that's so it was just my Schwartzen file.
Oh man, I love that.
All right, well, great news with Kevin and Mike is on YouTube and wherever you can get your podcasts. Mikey Likes You is wherever you can get your podcast. What do you search for Patreon? Just Mike Catherwood, or
just
Mikey Likes You? Cool. And then OnlyFans coming soon?
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, it's already there. I just can't talk about it. Wait, before you guys go, do you know how I send those pictures to everybody, but like particularly one of like the guys who's hot on my list is Dr. Drew.
Oh, right.
Do you know my Dr. Drew sending images story?
No.
This is remarkable. I'm so glad to be able to talk about this in like a public forum.
Right. Let's hear
So
it.
I send Dr. Drew pictures every like 5 times a week. I send him like a battery of pictures, and he always is like, oh, that's a dead person. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh, that's polypapule
Right.
columnitis.
And he's desensitized because he's a doctor. He's seen a lot. Yeah.
And so I sent him this probably 6 months ago. I sent him a huge collection, right? And he goes, stop. And I'm like, stop, Drew?
Yeah, that's going to egg you on more, by the way,
so,
right?
I send 5 more pictures, right? Like within 10 seconds, within 10 seconds of that. He goes, seriously, stop it. And I go, oh my, okay, now I'm kind of concerned, right?
Right.
So 20-30 minutes goes by and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see a picture of Dr. Drew with Mike Pence and Donald Trump in the White House.
Oh man.
And I'm like,
awesome.
No way.
Oh my
Sure enough,
God.
I text Susan, his wife, Susan Pinsky, and she goes, you have no idea how crazy that was. We're at this gala for homelessness and what to do about the homeless problem. Drew's there as an honored guest of the president and stuff. He and I got separated. I was walking around getting tours and he had his phone in his hand to be able to text back and forth with me so that we could figure out how to meet up. And he's talking to Mike Pence and the Secretary of State, and you send those pics and he thinks it's for me, and opened up his phone and tried to keep his composure as he's standing next to the leader of the free world. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I can't even wrap my head around how happy.
Oh man,
those prolapses are terrific.
You know what? That's the bestest prolapse I've ever seen. Huge.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Secretly too. Mike Pence is probably oh my God, get this man out of the country.
Yeah,
Donald was probably let me see that. Can I get it?
I've seen that in person. Yep.
Yeah.
Saw that in person.
Airdrop that to me real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that is wild.
Right.
We miss you, Mike.
Mike.
Dude, we're gonna have to get you on the show again. I want to do a proper episode where I can talk to you about just health and diet advice, that sort of stuff that you do on your podcast. But
you gotta pay for that now. You gotta pay for that now on the Patreon.
No.
Not general advice.
The stuff that he covers on Mikey Likes You is very fascinating. And yeah, definitely if you're a Janksta, you're gonna like the attitude that Mike spills on there, and it's very informative, and it helped me lose weight. And Mike actually was the guy where I was super fat, and he was the guy that took the time and gave me a workout plan and got me on a meal plan and helped me lose I want to say 65 pounds. Yeah, I think at my heaviest, I was 265, and I was about 250, and I got all the way down to 185. So nice. Thank you for that, Mike.
Of course, man. But honestly, here's the thing. The internet is the worst thing that's ever happened. And people, by and large, want to be healthier, want to look better. If you don't, then there might be something up with you.
Right.
But so they do what they think they should do, and they go and they search for this information on their own. And I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I have made all these mistakes myself, and I've read all the fucking magazines and books and websites and everything, that almost all the information is either a total sham, someone trying to make money, and trying to sell you something that is appealing and glitzy but isn't going to help you much, or information for people who are in the top 1% and that has no application, not only isn't applicable for you, but it is probably unsustainable and if not dangerous. And so people are lost in the sea of confusion. And so it's just, I feel very compelled and motivated to be listen, stop that. Listen. This is what you gotta do.
Let me.
That's why I stick with my shake weight, Mike.
Let me ask you. Well, since I had, I want to ask you a question. Kind of to extrapolate on that is that I kind of found too is that I took some of your advice, but sometimes your advice or whoever you're getting advice from might be excellent advice, but every human body is different. So that advice, even if you follow it to a T, for some reason it might not work for you, and you have to try it out, but try it out for like, a month. But if you don't see results, you have to move on, right? Am I mistaken with that?
There's no such thing as like a clear cut way to do things. And like the human body, in comparison to almost all other animals, it's the most adaptive and the most unique kind of machine in nature. There's populations that thrive on eating nothing but starches,
Right.
in like the plains of Africa. There's people who absolutely thrive on eating nothing but, high fat fish. And you can't like sit here and say, when I was in like seriously into bodybuilding, I used to train with this other guy named Mike, and we were almost exactly the same sizes and everything, and we were doing the same bodybuilding show. And in preparation for the show, he was eating 250, 300 grams of carbs a day and getting shredded. If I ate over like 75, I was falling asleep, and you just can't, there's no way to. Rickson Gracie, who's like the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu, if he once was giving a class at the academy, I trained at his son's academy, Crone Gracie's academy, and Rickson would come in and teach every once in a while. And he was telling this guy like how to do this certain thing, elevate his hips to do a move. And the guy's like, Rickson, I'm sorry, it doesn't feel very comfortable for me. I'm having a hard time even getting my leg. And he's like, well, then don't do it that way. And he stopped everybody. He's like, listen, my jiu-jitsu is not your jiu-jitsu. It's not his jiu-jitsu. Your jiu-jitsu, your jiu-jitsu. You find how it best works for you. And it like totally stuck with me. And he's totally right when it comes to that kind of stuff. Definitely take away some major foundational ideas, but then play with them and figure out how to do it on your own,
Which I think, people have, like, I know I do. I have this idea where, okay, obviously you're an intelligent guy and I'm getting good information, but it's hard to kind of disassociate yourself from that, because like, okay, yeah, this is not working, but I want to keep trying it because you should know, what you're talking about. And I obviously don't. And if I follow the rules, it should work. But sometimes that's not the case. Just really quick before we let you go, I found this so interesting because Mike on his podcast talks about the number one thing that you could do for weight loss. It's insane. It's like super easy. What's that?
Vomiting.
No, not vomiting.
Oh.
It's just going for long walks. So if you're kind of like, if you're watching your diet, if you could go for, one long 40-minute walk, or if you have to break them apart, like at 10, 4 10-minute walks, as long as you're getting about how many steps, Mike? 10,000 steps a day?
I always say like a good baseline 10,000, like as I'm getting closer to my birthday, my like little endpoint, I might be up in 15,000, but it's all like people have this notion that unless they get crazy sweaty and tired,
that's
they're not doing something. And that's completely just look at human beings. Okay. In comparison to all animals, we are not very strong. We are not very fast, and we don't swim very well. But one thing we can do is we can go all the live long day. Even if you're not in very good shape, you could walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. And there's a reason for that, because it's the most chemically appropriate thing that we can do. And like staying in that low heart rate, but being mobile, much like people were 100+ years ago, technology has made it so we're like far too sedentary. And it's just not a matter of like getting in and hammering it. It's a matter of like stay moving all day, just in little bits. That it's priceless. There's a guy on YouTube who put up a whole thing where he did like 6 months of no exercise except for walking, and he lost a bunch of weight, and he's shredded and he looks great. His skin looks better and stuff,
Right. Yeah. It's so fascinating, man. Oh, thank you for taking the time out to talk to us, man. I know you're a busy guy. Yeah, great news. Mikey likes you, and make sure if you want to get in shape, you hit him up on Patreon, and yeah, you won't lose money on this deal, dude. You'll end up, getting to where you want to get physically. Thanks, Mike.
I always appreciate talking to you guys. I love it. I miss you guys terribly. I have an idea for your show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
A segment.
All right.
A recurring, ongoing segment where you guys just highlight, discuss, and talk about interns from the Kevin and Bean Show.
Yeah, that's it. We have to be able to track them down. There's like,
here's the thing about that, Mike.
Maybe you actually get them on the phone, but not necessary. And you don't even have to use your real names, because we always gave them nicknames.
Right. Yeah.
You dude, remember Circus Vargas? Oh yeah, remember that time she did blah blah blah. Hey, dude, what about Creepy Wonder? We fired that guy on the air.
Here's the thing, Mike. When I discussed this with Kevin already because he wanted to include interns on his book, and the amount of interns that I could actually remember in my mind is very little. I have blocked them out because I have a terrible memory and I hated working with them. So, other than dating one, then now it's like I can't remember.
Mike, you would have to come on because like Dave, I only remember one crazy one, and that was Shaolin Robot. Everybody else I wasn't around for.
That's an episode right there, though. Shaolin Robot is.
She was the best.
Shaolin Robot. Like, why don't you come watch me strip? I'm a stripper, and I drove all the way to bumfuck who knows where, and she got there, and she's like, and they're like, yeah, she's not working tonight. Like,
Shaolin Robot.
Dude, she was crazy.
No, she was not.
I'm sorry. That was Charlie Marley.
Oh my God.
Okay. Because if Shaolin Robot is the opposite of what a stripper looks like.
No. Shaolin Robot was awesome too. Like,
yeah, she was cool.
Like, I'm a stalker.
Yeah.
I've stalked this guy at UCLA. I just walk around and I follow him everywhere. I wait out in front of his. We're like, what? I went dumpster diving last night.
Yeah, I would eat out of a dumpster.
You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, she was
unbelievable.
And she sung Shaolin Rain, which was, one
best.
of the first of Michael Catherwood's great songs.
I could help you guys because I do remember these people. I remember Puya. I remember
Creepy Wonder.
Creepy Wonder. Yeah. I remember. What about Lispy, who's actually a pretty cool guy? What about the I forgot what we called him, but the guy who's talking like this, and he was into like extreme death metal.
I don't remember him.
He got kicked out of a Kevin and Bean party because he got too hammered.
Oh, really? Wow.
Who is that?
Oh, was that the surfer guy? He was kind of surfer?
No, that's Moose.
That's Hammerhead.
No. Hammerhead was the dude who had a tricycle and was gonna a unicycle.
No. Unicycle. And he was going to do the LA Marathon on a unicycle.
Yes, and he had it in his trunk. Yep. No, but then there was Twink, who Mike wrestled shirtless.
Wow. See, I don't know all these. I remember Charlie Marley, Shaolin Robot,
Dummy Dum Dum.
All right, let's pull out the Jank. Let's put out the Janksinkle right now. If any of the Jankses remember or have any tabs on any of these people, because we were able to talk to Misak. Remember Browse? We talked to Misak,
I remember Browse.
And then we talked to Miss Cleo too on the podcast.
Keep in contact with Misak Tokmajian because lest we forget, Misak Tokmajian curated all the Armenian fellows that I used in Brow Down.
Oh, did he really?
Got me.
Hey, Mike.
I'll bring you Armenians.
Yeah, was Misak the inspiration for Brow Down? I don't know if it's just, or was it just
Brow Down? Was I happened to hear Bow Down?
Yeah,
they played it on Power or something, and I was like, I did Chow Down in my head. I'm always doing this stupid thing, or I was like Chow Down, and then I was a Brow Down, and I was like, oh, we should do a Chola one where they do like their eyebrows. I was like, oh no, no unibrows.
Yeah, because Misak was there. So
and then the entire city of Glendale was upset with you.
Oh, dude. So that video gets put up and taken down on YouTube all the time. Okay. The last time I went and looked, my Muay Thai coach is like, you got to see this. So I go up and I look, someone put it up and had like 600,000 views. I go in the comments and you get like 20 comments in, and it's just a battle. It's like, fuck you, bro. I kill you, bro. And then it says there's this whole list of comments, like 20, 30 comments deep about how I was killed by Armenian pride. That I was actually because of this video, I was killed.
It's Armenian Power, by the way, I think.
Yeah, Omar almost joined it, by the way.
Yeah, I almost joined Armenian Power.
That's a whole other story.
And they killed me. And then there was like Kevin and Bean fans are like, no, it's Mike Catherwood. He's totally alive. Like,
and then they're like, thanks. Now we're gonna find him. Like, oh, great, thank you, dude.
Now Armenian Power is really coming. Yeah, but the whole Armenian community was upset with you, but some of them weren't. I mean, a lot like Browse. He's Armenian. He gave us once.
No, it was hit or miss. Either they were like, dude, that was hysterical. I love that, or they're like, dude, I'm going to drag you outside and kill you. Speaking of that, I know. I'll let you guys go. I'll let you, Dave. Just today, I was talking about how when Carl Parisian punked me.
Oh, at Staples Center?
Remember that?
No.
Was that at Staples Center?
UFC fight where we were waiting at will call, and it was a huge long line. And I finally got to the front, and Carl Parisian just literally walked up and pushed me out of the way. And I turned. I was like, "What the?" And I was like, "Oh, never mind. Yeah, go ahead. You go right ahead."
I forgot about Caro. Yeah,
I remember. I remember that story. That's hilarious, dude. That's
I have
funny.
a terrible memory though, so there's that.
He doesn't remember squat, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary.
I went to UFC pretty recently. The one where Henry Cejudo, he beat, I believe when he beat Demetrius. And
Wait, is that at the UFC Island thing or
no? This was, I mean, when I say
COVID.
recently, it was like probably like, I don't know when that fight was, a year and a half ago or something.
Oh, okay.
But so a dude at the UFC that I know got me tickets, right? So I go to sit in my seats and there's someone in them, and I could just see like the back of their heads. And when you get comp seats, it's like a pretty consistent problem. So I'm like, fucking dicks, dude. And I'm going up there, and I brought like a friend with me, and I'm trying to show off that I got these VIP seats, and they're really close. And I go to walk up to like be like, dude, these are my seats, and it's Nick and Nate Diaz. And I was like, all right, hey, big fan.
I'll be sitting over here somewhere.
Dude, Mike just gets punked by every UFC fighter every time he goes to the events.
And it's like the gnarliest ones too, like the ones who definitely totally punch me in real life, you know.
Hey, so since we're speaking of that, Mike, I know you train. Are you gonna do any kind of like competition, like low level competition, or do you just like the training aspect of it?
I really, really want to. And
you do? Wow.
I was a couple years ago. I was preparing to do a Muay Thai fight at the president's birthday or the king's birthday, which is like a big thing in Thailand. And then here in LA, they have on the king's birthday they have a Muay Thai fight. And I was preparing for it and like really going for it, and then it got canceled because of like threats of violence or something. There was some like some production reason why they canceled. So then I just got deflated about it. But my boy Jason Ellis keeps me scratching that itch, because he has me fighting a couple times a year at Ellis Manias, and I'm always like in these extreme circumstances where I'm like, I'm a piñata and like 4 guys are trying to beat candy off of me, or like,
That's funny. When's the next one? It's gonna be like, once the quarantine's lifted.
Because he tried to do his own Fight Island and it didn't work out.
Oh no, did he really?
He did do a Fight Island at
Havasu. At Havasu, right? He did it at Havasu.
Oh my god!
Up like a whole floating ring, and it was great. A floating octagon.
Look, Mike, I love you, but you're not Randy Couture, man. You can't start at age 40 and start fighting professionally.
I'm not. I would never think to do it professionally. I'm just saying, like the idea of competition though does intrigue me. And then I want the great safe way out would be to just do jiu-jitsu competitions. But the problem is that that sport has advanced so much that like I don't have the time to train twice a day, 5 days a week, because I'll just get flat. Like blue belts right now just flatten you. Everyone's so freaking good.
Yeah. Well, Beer Mug was talking shit earlier and saying he could take you in a Muay Thai fight because you remember that one time we were training, he was hitting the bag really hard. He was talking shit. He's like, I could take Mike probably.
As soon as you're healthy, Beer Mug, I'll do whatever it takes to go just one round. Just do a little
spar. You're gonna kick my ass.
I won't. I won't. This is what's gonna happen. I would leg kick you so hard right from the start that you would probably have to go to the hospital, and then that would be over, and I would walk away like Mark Hunt, like I do it all the time.
Yeah, you're really good. I always watch your Instagram videos at the Muay Thai Academy, and I don't want to step in your realm. I mean, I have to train for at least a month.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Mike.
I love you
all
too,
right, Mike.
Take it easy.